Hello, all. A warm welcome to a Project Build-A-Thon, day 3. We'll be starting the session soon. Let's wait for a few more minutes for all the people to join. So, hope everyone understood how to create a chatbot and how to create an assistant from yesterday's session, right? So I've given you two links where I asked you to refer for basics of Node-RED as well as creation of Node-RED. Can I know how many of you have followed those videos? All right, Muhammad. Others? All right, all right. Not an issue. So I hope everyone have created Node-RED. So I will first start with that introduction to Node-RED, and then we'll build some basic applications, and then we'll move on to SMS analysis use case, which uses Knowledge Studio as well as natural language understanding services in IBM. Let's wait for a few more minutes, then I'll start the session. How many of you have attended yesterday's session? Like, is there anyone who just joined today? Hadal, yesterday you were there, right? Okay, fine. So whoever has joined today, you will find some sort of difficulty in following today in today's session. But if you want to get in pace of today's session, please do watch yesterday's videos, which are already uploaded onto YouTube. All right, so let's get started with this session. So it's just the continuation of yesterday's session where we're gonna build a user interface so that we can get connected to the chatbot that we have created yesterday. Before that, I request everyone to log into your IBM accounts and create your Node-RED services. Oh, all right, Hadil. Actually, you have to create Node-RED service. So, can I know how many of you have already created the Node-RED service? All right. Let me log into my Node-RED. Let me log into my IBM account. If you have not created your Node-RED accounts, please do create it. I'll give few minutes of time. Do you want me to show you the steps of creation of Node-RED? All right, so let me delete my service, because once I create it, I cannot create another service. So let me just delete the services and I'll show you how to create it again. All right. So did everyone log into your IBM accounts? Fine. So from the catalog, please click on catalog. Please click on catalog. Search for Node-RED. Search for Node-RED and you will find Node-RED app. Click on catalog from the dashboard. Search for Node-RED. You'll find an option Node-RED app. Please click on that Node-RED app. So is everyone on this page? Please click on create. Scroll down. Click on create. So yeah. Yes. So as soon as you clicked on create, that gets redirected to another page where your Cloud in DB will get created. Cloud in DB is nothing but a database. So like whenever you're gonna build any web applications or so, you will be downloading some sort of databases so that you can get connected to the database with the help of your interfaces, right? So in the same way, whenever you're creating a node-RED, then a database, default database node-RED will also get created. So that's what is getting created in this page. So if you see your Cloud and DB is getting created, you can see the provision service. It is providing some sort of service credentials to create that DB. All right. So once your DB is created, then you're ready to deploy your app. That means you are creating a application. You're deploying your application on cloud so that you can build some sort of basic user interfaces. So I'll tell you what actually this Node-RED and what we will do with this Node-RED within few minutes. So once you have created, is everyone on this page? So now once your Cloud and DB is already provisioned, please click on deploy your app. After you click on deploy your app, select Cloud Foundry. Select Cloud Foundry. Give a new API key. Click on new. Select Cloud Foundry. Click on new. An API key is added to your Node-RED. Scroll down. Your region, your organization, and your space should be defaultly selected. If it's not getting selected, please try changing the region to London. So if you change that to London, then your organization and your space will be recognized. And a new host name will be given to your application. Done till here, everyone? If you got stuck somewhere, please let me know. I'll help you out. Yes, now please click on next. Is everyone on this page? I repeat. Yes. I hope everyone is like parallelly following the steps. All right, it's still deploying. Fine. So whenever you are, I mean, like still behind me, please let me know so that I can wait for you to come to my pace. So please click on next. Once you have given all the credentials, I mean all the details, please click on next. Click on create. Now your DevOps tool chain will be created. So if you see, the status is like changing from providing some sort of space to allocating the resources. So here the status should be success. If the status is success, then that means your noded application is deployed. So your DevOps toolchain is already created. Now you can see the delivery pipelines here. This status will start from no stages detected to success. So this is the status where you have to see success. When this is done, then that means your node-RED is deployed. So with the help of URL, you can open your node-RED. So let's wait for a few more minutes. But before that, let me give you a small introduction regarding node-RED. Actually, Node-RED is an open source flow based tool, and it actually created for IoT platform. And this was developed by IBM, and this is written in Node.js. This Node-RED will let you easily build applications by joining some sort of nodes together. Somehow you will understand what are all these nodes and all once you start with the Node-RED flows. And to use this Node-RED flow, it requires a very little programming knowledge. It has a very good flexibility, and it is very easy to use. So because of its flexibility and the ease of the use of Node-REDs, it is deadly suited for building basic application, and also it is used for building IoT and home control dashboards. And also you can also use this for some sort of automations, etc. You can install this Node-RED locally on Windows, Linux, and also you can use this on cloud-based platforms. So for that, you have to create a service. That's what we did right now. Once the Node-RED service is created, then I'll show you how to use that. All right. Is everyone on this page? All right. Yes, so it will take a few more minutes. So it will take more than 5 to 10 minutes for completing your DevOps stages. You can see the progress. Just click on here. You can see the stages will be built. All these are DevOps toolchain. So your delivery pipeline is still running. So once your build tools should be created, and then that should get deployed. So it's still building the build tools. So the code is fetched, unit test is done, and the stage passed. The build stage passed. Now it came to deploy. So the stage is still running. Once this is done, then you can see success status over here. Let's wait for a few more. It's still running. Let's wait for a few more minutes. Yeah, so before it gets created, let me ask few questions regarding chatbot that we've created yesterday. So, like, how many of you have totally completed the chatbot building? Have you added any extra nodes or extra dialogues for it? Ouch, I may find that's good. Okay. So now if I ask you to create any of the chatbots for a specific domain, will you be able to create? For suppose if I ask you to create a chatbot for a banking purpose or a ticket booking purpose, that's really good. All right, Chaima. Actually, yesterday I have shared a link to how to deploy a chatbot to your application Hadil. I hope you have not received it. I'll just send it again today so you can see that. And also, there is so many documents regarding it on IBM Cloud. You can also follow those documents. Yes, we do also have some sort of YouTube videos. You can directly search for deploying Watson Assistant chatbot on Facebook Messenger or Slack, or integrated with the web application. You can find many things. And yesterday I've also shown you an embedded code which you can directly embed that onto your application. So if you have any HTML, yes. So my second one also is done. Yes, I'll share it, Hadil. So the stage is passed. Now if you see here, the status is success. That means my node is created. So how many of your status is changed to success? So it took 7 minutes for creating the DevOps toolchain. Only one. Your status changed to failure. Okay, fine, Malik. So which wherever you find, so if you just click on this pop up, you'll get redirected to another page. There, wherever the stage is failed, you just click on the run button so that the stage will be rerun. All right. All right. So yeah, once this is done, now you have to open your Node-RED. So to do so, please click on your dashboard. Please click on your dashboard. Scroll down. Search for Cloud Foundry apps. How to delete a Node-RED? Okay, fine. So if you click on your services Hadil, you will find Cloud Foundry apps. You have to first delete this. Scroll down, and in the services, you have to delete the Cloud and DB, this Node-RED Cloud and DB also. So once you delete both of them, then that means you have deleted your so it's still showing it like that. So what you do is delete your Node-RED service with the routes and start creating it again. So as this is a time taking process, I asked you to create the service yesterday itself. So please do delete your Node-RED service as well as the Cloud and DB which is got associated while creating the Node-RED. All right. So once this is done, you can recreate the Node-RED by searching it through catalog. So please click on the Node-RED from the dashboard. I mean the Cloud Foundry app. you will find an URL with which you can open your Node-RED flows. All right. Is everyone on this page? All right. Please click on Visit App URL. Please click on Visit App URL. Scroll down. Click on Next. Select the option Not Recommended. Allow anyone to use it. Tick this box to confirm. Click on Next. Click on Next. Click on Finish. So now you're setting up your Node-RED. So once your Node-RED is started, you can see all the widgets and your flow editor. So please click on Go to your Node-RED flow editor. This is how your Node-RED flow editor looks like. I cannot redo it, Emir. So as soon as if you are on this page, please click on this Visit App URL. Once you click on Visit App URL, please click on Next, and you have to tick the boxes Not Recommended and tick the box to confirm. Once you click on those, please click on Next until finish. Once you're done with finish, you'll be redirecting to a page where you'll find an option called Go to your Node-RED flow editor. Click on that box. Then okay, Chaima, please go to catalog. Here, search for Node-RED space red. Then you will find Node-RED app. Click on that and follow the steps that we have done before. All right. All right. So this is what your Node-RED flow editor looks like. Is everyone on this page? Like whoever has created the Node-RED service? Still loading. Shall I move forward? Is everyone on this page? All right, so more resources in the sense, can I know what do you mean by more resources? There was a slider for more. Okay, no, no. You cannot do that. All right. So now let's get started with this node read. All right. So actually, this is where you will be writing your programs, and this space is nothing but called as workspace. And towards left, you have a palette where you'll find all the nodes which are used for creation of your programs, and this is the sidebar where you will see the configurations of your programming. So here you can create your application with wiring all the nodes together. All right. So the default flow that you've seen, that you have on your screen, has two widgets. This is inject node and this is payload node. Uh, this inject node can be considered as a user input. So if suppose whenever you want to take a user input in a programming language, whether it is if it is in Python, you mention it as raw input or input. If suppose it is C, you mention it as scanf, right, to take the user input. Am I right? Which is taking the user input. Yes. So here this also will be injecting the user input onto a flow. This is nothing but called as inject node, and whatever the node that is injected, whatever the text that is injected, that can be displayed with the help of a debug node. This debug node, you can consider this as a print statement. So this is the user input and this is the print statement, and to see the output you have something called debug bar. So you can see a spider icon, right? This is called debug bar. So whenever you write any program, you compile and run the program, right? So here, once you write any of the program, you have to deploy it. Just click on deploy. Your program is compiled as well as run. Now click on this inject node. You can see hello node is being injected. The reason is, if you double click on this, the data that you're passing is hello node read. The data that you're passing is hello node read. If you want to change this, then you can directly change as a number. So here you can write the number as 1 2 3 4 5, something like that. Done. Click on deploy and just click on inject. That number is injected onto the flow. So with the help of these with the help of this inject node, you can inject some sort of data onto the flow. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna create a user interface where that will connect to your chatbot. That will get connected to your chatbot. So I'll just write the steps on it. The first step is take the user input, send the user input to chatbot, retrieve the response from chatbot, retrieve the response from chatbot, and the fourth step is display it on UI. UI is nothing but user interface. Now let's create a user interface for our bot. All right. Now here I have taken my inject node. Now already the first step is already done. That means take the user input. So here I want to write it as good morning. Just make it as string and give it as good morning. Done. And now you have to send this user input to a chatbot. So to send that to a chatbot, we have a node called Watson Assistant. Search for Watson Assistant, drag onto the flow, connect the Watson Assistant, click on this Watson Assistant, and you have to provide some sort of credentials over here. Have you done this? Did anyone complete this? Did anyone complete this? All right. Now here you have to give the credentials of your bot. So you have to give your API, you have to give your service endpoint, and you also have to give your workspace ID. That you can grab from your chatbot. So please open your dashboard, come to the other tab, open this dashboard in the next tab. From here, click on the services. Click on the services. Today we are creating a user interface, Hadil. Yesterday at the end of the class, I've shown you an user interface, right? A web application where user enters the text and the response of a bot is showcased on the UI. If you want to build a user interface and you want to integrate that with a chatbot, then this is the way how you use it. So Node-RED is purely used for building basic applications. Use a dashboard. You can also create dashboards with the help of Node-RED. All right. So if you're not aware of the HTML or any of those things, then you can readily rely on this Node-RED to create basic applications. All right. Now please click on Watson Assistant. Copy the API key and paste it over here in the API space. In the same way, copy the URL and paste it in the service endpoint. And you also give your workspace ID. So if you launch your Watson Assistant, you'll find the chatbot that you've created. Go to skills. Click on view API details. Here you'll find skill ID. Skill ID is nothing but the workspace ID. Click on that workspace ID, skill ID, and paste it near workspace ID. Now click on done. Now grab a debug node, search for debug node. Click on deploy. Click on deploy. So once you inject good morning, then that good morning is sent to assistant and some sort of response is shown over here. Have you seen this? Now, if you open this response, you can see your response in the output. So in the output, click on the output, click on the text, and you can see it says, hello, good morning. Have you seen this? So this gives a JSON format, which will have what are all the entities that it is grabbing. Does it have any sort of intents in it? What is the input text that you've given? And what is the output that it is giving? So the output will be there in the text. Have you done till here? Okay. So here, after you launch your Watson Assistant, you'll find your chatbots, right? So please click on skills. You'll find your chatbot, right? Click on view API details, copy the skill ID and paste it over here. So if you're facing any difficulty, please do tell me so that I can understand. How many of you have completed? Am I supposed to repeat it? Sorry. Right. So now this is this is the whole output that I got, but I want to just extract my response from the bot. So you have to write a function to grab this. So you know JSON parsing, right? So if you have any sort of JSON data, you will be parsing it. Now you have to parse the output. IBM has given a facility to directly copy the path of your response. So if you just click on this response, you'll find three options. So the first option is copy path. So this path will have the location where your response is stored. Now just grab the function node. Just grab the function node. Connect this assistant to the function node. Open that function node and write the statement as message dot payload is equal to message dot paste the path that you have created, that you have copied. Now just connect to the payload. Now deploy it. Delete this. Now just inject good morning. Now you got the response as good morning. Now just type offers. Give the user interface as offers. Done. Deploy it. Inject. Now you can see it is giving the offers as 20% off on which. Now if you want to just give order, please order, done, deploy, click on this inject node. Okay, it's not understanding. So it's asking what is the dish you would like to order, right? So like this you can converse with your bot, but every time you cannot open this. All right, Mohammed, I'll so open the function node. Just write the statement message.payload is equal to message.payload.output.text. So here we are parsing the, so let me check, let me show you. So whenever I'm just I'm just writing it as good morning, done, deploy it. Now whenever I just send good morning, it is giving the whole JSON content, right? So from here I want to just take the response of a bot. So what is the order or what is the dish that you would like to order? So just copy that, copy the path, the response path, open the function node, make it as message.payload, give the variable as message.payload is equal to message.payload.output of text of 0. So just message dot paste the path that you have copied. Done. Now deploy it, and you can see you can see that you're talking to the bot, right? Until here. I'll just put that statement in the chat. Now, this is a, like you have to change this statements or the input text every time. So instead of that, what I would like to do is, I would like to create a user interface where I'll be giving a title of my user interface. This is my title. Let me say this is my title. And I'll be giving some sort of heading. And here I'll be giving a text box where user can enter the text. And here I'll showcase the response given by the bot. User input and bot response. Bot response, user input and bot response. So this is my UI. To create any sort of UIs, first of all, you have to install dashboard nodes. All right, you have to install dashboard nodes. So to do so, please click on Manage Palette. Please click on Manage Palette. Click on Install. Search for node-red. Search for dashboard, dashboard. Now you'll find something called Node-RED dashboard. Please click on Install. Just install these. Now you can see your dashboard nodes are installed. So did everyone install the dashboard nodes? If so, just let me know. Are you following me? Please do respond to the questions. All right, so have you installed the dashboard nodes? Do you see all these dashboard nodes? Now on the dashboard, you can see drop down button, switch, slider, numeric, text input, form, all those things, right? Now here, I would like to take the form node. I'd like to take the form node. Please grab the form node. Now here you have to give the group name as well as tab name. So I have shown this, right? This title can be considered as group. This heading can be considered as tab. So for each and every UI, you will have a separate group name and a separate tab name. All right. So now here, I just want to select the option, add new UI group, edit this. Now you can make this as restaurant what? You've given the group name and here add the tab name. Just select the add new UI tab, edit that, give the name as talk to your bot. Talk to your bot. Add it. Now here just enter some label saying user input. So on the UI I've shown you, right? You can see a label over here, right? That label is nothing but called as user input. That is what I've given here. So whichever the user input that user types, for suppose it is good morning or good afternoon or anything, that will be stored in a variable A. That will be stored in a variable A. So this is the text, right? Now please click on done. Now deploy it. From this drop down, just select the dashboard. Click on this pop-up window. Click on this pop-up window. So you can see a user input is created. Now I'll just say, hello, good morning. And when you click on submit, the bot response should be showcased over here. Before that, you have to send this to the assistant. Let's see what is the output that we get from the form node. Just grab the debug node. Deploy it. Open the debug node. Delete the previous ones. Now here just type hello, good morning. Now come to the Node-RED. You find this statement is saved in a variable which is A, right? So you have to send the variable, the response in the variable A. So please copy the path, drag a function node, connect this to the function node, open this function node, make it as message dot payload is equal to message dot payload dot A, or paste the path that you have copied. Now give this to the assistant. Now deploy it. So here, whatever the response that you are getting, you're showcasing it on a debug node. I want to showcase it on the UI. So that for that, I'll just take the text output. Text output. Connect this function node to this text output. Open that text output. Now select the group and tab as talk to your bot restaurant bot. Now here just write it as bot response. Click on done. Deploy it. Click on done, deploy it. Now go to the bot. So you can see you find a bot response as well as the user input. Now just submit it. You can see the actually we have stopped the conversation in the middle, right? So yes, before I've given what's the order, right? So that's the reason it is taking this. So let me give it as paratha. Submit this. And it says what is the quantity you would like to order. I'll just say it as 3. Submit this. And I just say it as COD. Just submit this. You can see the order of paratha of quantity 3 is placed. Please do pay the amount through COD. So this is how you will be building a user interface for the bot. Have you understood? So now you understood what actually this Node-RED is, right? Once I'm done with this. So this is how you will be creating the user interfaces. All right. And if you want to download this flow, you can select all the nodes, Control A, go to this manage palette. Go to these drop down and select it as import. Sorry, select it as export, so that your whole program will be downloaded in the form of a JSON. So if you're not following this right now, please do check out the YouTube video that is already being live streamed. All right. So did anyone complete this? Did anyone complete the building of this UI? No one? All right. Now we can also create some speech to text, text to speech. I mean, I just want to yesterday I have shown you a sentiment analysis application, right? So there I've used language translator, there I've used text to speech, I've also used speech to text, all those things. Now I want to create an application which uses all these services. Text to speech is the service which is used to convert the textual data into speech. Speech to text is the service which is used to convert speech into text. Language translator will translate the languages from one language to another. Tone analyzer is the service which will analyze the emotion of a text. So let me create a sentiment analysis of a given text with the help of all these services. Before that, I'll just write what are all the steps that you have to do. The first step is steps for creating sentiment analysis of a given text. Create step 1, create text to speech service, create speech to text service, create tone analyzer service, create language translator service, then build Node-RED flow. So here what you have to do is take the user input, give the user input to tone analyzer, parse the response, give the response to language translator, give the translated text to speech service. So now I would like to create a flow which uses all these services. All right. So to first create the services, first of all, go to the dashboard. Go to the dashboard. Click on, search for from the catalog. Search for text to speech or speech to text. Open the service. Make sure you select the Dallas or London region and click on create. As I already have the service, I'm unable to create it now. In the same way, you have to search for speech to text, create the service. The same way you have to create language translator as well as tone analyzer. So once you are done with all those service creations, now you can go for Node-RED application building. If you're not following, I'm repeating it again. Please do watch the YouTube video so that you can complete the steps that I am telling now. All right. Now I'm just taking another flow. Click on plus symbol. Here, first of all, I would like to take a form node. Form node. And let me add a new UI. Add new UI group. Edit the box. Give it as a sentiment analysis of a text. And tab also. Give a new UI tab. Edit this. Give this as enter your review. Add it. Add. Now just give it as P or so. Enter the review. Now give the name as anything A or so. Done. Now deploy it. Go to the dashboard. So here, this is the chatbot UI. But to go to other UI, you have to click on these lines. Click here, enter review. Now, whenever you enter, I am very much worried. So whenever I submit this, the tone analyzer should analyze what is the tone that I have entered. So I am very much worried is nothing but some sort of tension or sad sort of thing. So the tone analyzer analyzes it as a sad. All right. Now, just here, just grab the function node. So whatever the text that you enter, that will be stored in A, as I already told you, right? So please mention it as message.payload.a. Done. Now give, for tone analyzer, you have to give it in the JSON format itself. So no need of parsing it. Now just grab the tone analyzer. Just connect to this. Now open this tone analyzer. You have to give the API key as well as the service endpoint. These can be grabbed from the services. So please click on the dashboard. Open the tone analyzer service that you have created. Services. Click on tone analyzer. Copy the API. Here. In the same way, copy the URL. Put it over here. API should be placed in the API section. So just select this as a customer engagement tone. Select this as multiple tones. Click on deploy. Click on OK. Now just drag a debug node and deploy it. Now just give the statement I am worried and let's see what is the output that we get. Sorry, general tone. This is multiple tones. The context is text English. Okay, not customer engagement tone. That is my general tone itself. Done. Deploy it. Now just submit this. So instead of message.payload, just put it as complete message object. Done. Deploy it. Now go to the node RED, submit it. You can see you got a payload and the response in the document node in the tone categories. You can see the emotion tone, tones. If in the tones you can see it says 96%, it is openness. You can see all the tone names. Okay, it is, let me see customer engagement node. Just wait. So this is a general tone. General tone, version date. Okay, tones is emotion. Let's take emotion itself because we want to see the emotion only, right? Now deploy it. Delete this. Now go to here, enter the review. Food sucks. Let's say I'm giving a review on food. Now you can see the response. In the responses, you have tones. So in that tones, it says 49% the given text is anger. 22% the given text is disgust. 29% it says it is fear. 18% it says joy. So 34% it says sadness. So out of this, the highest score that we have given is 40. The highest score that the tone analyzer analyzed is 49. So the emotion of my review could be anger. So here we have to write a code in such a way that you have to grab the highest score. You have to grab the highest score. So for that, I have written a program, and that program should be given in the function node. So in the function node, I have already written the code, which is where emotion. So from here, it will grab the highest score, highest emotion score, and I am storing my tone in message.topic. So I'll just send this code in the chat window. So to grab the highest score tone, I have written a code. Now just add the debug node. Here instead of message.payload, just add it as message.topic. Done. Now deploy it. Delete the before flow here. So I have another. So I've disabled the node. I'm not getting the proper output. So just refresh this. You'll get the dashboard. Open the dashboard. Now enter the text. Very much disappointed. Just submit it. Now in the debug window, you can see the tone which is undefined. So from here, I have to take another function. Here, I would like to type message dot payload is equal to message dot topic. Now done. Now add a debug node. Deploy it. Now go to the node thread. Just submit the review. You can see it is anger. Now just give another statement. I'm very excited. I'm very much excited to know about info. Just submit this. Then you can see it is joy, right? Okay, the reason is why it is not working is Elias. So here, if you open here, I am sending my data. I'm returning my new message. All right. So my new message has MSG, but my tone is stored in message.topic. So that's the reason from here I am taking message.topic and then I am showing that message.topic over here. So that's the reason the first function is not working. All right. Now here what I want to do is I would like to give some statement like where a is equal to message.topic, scroll down, I mean just enter. Now here give the message.payload is equal to the given review is considered as, I'm just string concatenating it, plus str plus a. So here I'm just giving a statement that the given review is considered as joy. So now I want to convert this into any of the language. So for that, just drag language translator. Now give this to language translator and open language translator. Give the API as well as a service endpoint. So to do so, please click on the dashboard, go to the language translator from the services, go to the language translator. So let me open my language translator as well as text to speech. Now give the API of language translator. And URL of language translator. Now here, translate from English to, I just want to translate it in French. Done. Now just add a debug node. Now deploy this. Delete the previous outputs. Now just give this. Now that gets converted into, so that got converted into French. I don't know what. This is la review Donny est consideri commis joy. Is this correct in French? Whatever the text that I've written. All right, fine. So now let's read out this text. To do so, add text to speech. Text to speech, open this. Add the credentials of text to speech as well. Speech to text, text to speech. Done. Now you have to, this is this is speech to text. I have to drag text to speech, not speech to text. Give the API, text to speech API, and text to speech URL. Language is US English, let it be. Voice, so just done. Deploy it. After deploying it, you have to change the WAV. Okay, why is it not coming? Okay, so let me say cat v3. This is the voice of a person. Now done. To listen this voice, you should have a play audio node, but play audio node is not yet there. So if you just search for play audio, you'll not get it. So you have to install it. To install it, go to manage palette, install, click on install play audio. So you have noded contra play audio, right? Now click on install this. Done. Now just search for play audio. Connect this, deploy it. Now give the text. So once it is given,
La review don est consideri cum joy.
now just give another text. This is so ridiculous. I didn't expect this from them. Just execute this.
El examen don est consideri cum on anger.
All right, so don't you have any words for joy, anger, disgust in French? The same thing in French. Joy means joy itself. Je suis content. I am happy. Okay, this is not getting converted into French maybe. They're not the same in French, right? Now, this is not getting converted into French. All right, let us check whether that's getting converted now.
El examen don est consideri cum on anger.
Why is it not getting converted?
Cholera. Joie.
I'm just checking whether these words are getting converted into French or not.
Dig out.
But why this word is not getting converted? Let me check again.
El examen don est consideri cum on anger.
All right, instead of I giving the whole bunch of string data, let me just give it as the sentiment as A itself. Now let's see. Deploy it. Yusuf, please give me a few more minutes. I'm at the last of my session. Please excuse me for few more minutes. It is linked to the same debug node, Camellia. All right, I'll just make you co-host. All right, just submit it. Now let's see whether that's getting.
Anger. Anger.
Why is it not getting converted? English to French. Let me check with another language. Polish.
Slosk.
Okay, it's getting converted. The other language is getting converted. I'm very happy.
Radisk.
Let me check with French again.
Joy.
Okay, French is not getting converted, but other languages are getting converted. So here what we did is we have just taken a statement and that statement is converted into, I mean, that from that statement, we are just grabbing the sentiment and that sentiment is read out in the language that we wish. So this is how you will be building noded applications like the UIs and all. And if you want to create some sort of images or so, you can also do that on the UI. So this is how you will be creating UIs with Node-RED. I hope everyone understood like how to use these services and connect those in the Node-RED flow, right? I hope you got it. So if you've not followed, please do watch the YouTube video, and also you can also watch the videos that I have sent yesterday so that you can get a good grasp on this Node-RED service. So by this I would like to conclude my session and I would like to hand over this to Yusuf. Yusuf, please wait for a few more seconds. I'll just make you as co-host. Yes, Yusuf, I have made you as a co-host. So we have Yusuf from IBM, and he will be delivering the session on the text analysis tools, which is Watson Discovery. So over to you, Yusuf. Thank you
Yes,
so much.
thank you so much. Hello, everyone. I guess I introduced myself in the chat earlier, but it's okay. I want to introduce myself further. My name is Yusuf Nimr. I'm a developer advocate from IBM. And for today's session, we'll be talking a bit about natural language processing, text insights, and so forth. So first, let me start sharing my screen.
I'm stopping my screen, Yusuf, please. Yeah.
Thank you. So here, okay, just a second. Okay, so because of security concerns, I will rejoin this Zoom meeting because yeah. So just give me 5 minutes and then I'll come back. Sorry about that, everyone. Did we learn the smart chatbots? Yeah, can you answer for that, please? I think for today's use case, we'll be building a customer help desk with Watson Discovery. So this would include chatbots, if that answers your question. Okay, can you please confirm if you can see my screen?
Yes, sir. Yes, Yusuf, it's visible.
All right, thank you. So again, today we'll be talking more about natural language processing, text insights, and specifically natural language understanding. So before we continue further, this presentation is going to be a bit interactive. So I will be asking you some questions, and I would like you to get your feedback or get some answers from you. Now, without referring to Google, how many languages do you think are there that are spoken as of today? Feel free to use the chat. Okay, so Ben Amor is saying 113. Okay. Does anyone else have any other answers? No? Okay, so thank you, Ben Amor, for your answer. The actual number is around 7,000 languages. So there are over 7,000 languages that are spoken in the world as of today. Now, in the 90 days, the natural language processing systems were based on a set of handwritten rules. So before machine learning and development, all that stuff, people used to write parsing rules so that they can extract certain text and so forth. In the 1990s, there was the introduction of statistical models, which helped in extracting text faster. And then in 2000s, there was the IBM research where the Watson Jeopardy was designed, and it was winning the competition, the game Jeopardy itself, if you ever heard of it. So yeah, so in the 2000s, the Watson, which is the AI of IBM, was winning Jeopardy. Okay, it was the first AI to win in this game. Now, when we talk about natural language processing, it is a subfield of linguistics and artificial intelligence. Mainly NLP, or it's short for natural language processing. It focuses on the interaction between a human and the computer. Basically, it focuses on the human language. Now, it can use different algorithms, mainly ranging from deep learning to speech recognition to detect the patterns within the language. So let's say you want to detect, like certain keywords. Such algorithms are deployed to detect them. Now, natural language understanding is defined by Gartner as the comprehension of computers of the structure and meaning of the human language. Whether it's English, whether it's Japanese, Arabic, French, and so forth. It allows users to interact with the computer using natural sentences. So in this context, you don't have to worry about writing certain instructions, you know. So you would just speak in your natural language, and the computer would understand in implicitly what it is that you're trying to get by decomposing the structure and the meaning of the sentences provided. Now, NLU is it is the science of deducing an intention and its related information from natural conversations with information extraction. So when we talk about NLU, or when you specifically talk about extracting the intention and other information within the language, we talk specifically about NLU. Now, NLU is broken down into three linguistic levels. there's the syntax, semantics, and the pragmatics. Syntax focuses more on the grammar. So if we want to understand the grammar, we focus more on the syntax, the structure in general. Now, when we talk about semantics, we want to understand the meaning behind that structure. Okay. And for the pragmatics, we just focus on extracting the entities and intents. So when we will talk a bit more about the entities and intents and what they mean in details in upcoming slides. But just know for now that NLU is broken down to 3 levels: syntax, semantics, and pragmatics. Okay. Please, if you have any questions, drop them in the chat and I will be getting back to you. So let us take a closer look at the difference between NLU, NLP, and automatic speech recognition. Now, when we talk about NLU, it mainly focuses on certain aspects. So here we have relation extraction, semantic parsing, sentiment analysis, dialogue agents. These are the ones that you can call them chatbots. And we have the paraphrase and natural language inference. Now, for NLP, it's a wider bubble. You can think of it as a bigger umbrella. So when we talk about, let's say, named entity recognition, text categorization, machine translation, answering questions, these are all under NLP. Now, in automatic speech recognition, you can think of it as, text to speech, or it's even wider. So when you talk about speech recognition in general, it may cover different aspects from NLP and NLU. As my colleague was discussing before, speech recognition in general, or text to speech, extracts or utilizes different aspects within the NLP and the NLU. All right. So the task of text to speech itself is not straightforward. So it relies on different aspects. Now, let us take a closer look at how does the Watson natural language understanding work. So first of all, we have 2 types of data. If I'm not sure if that was covered before, but yeah, we have 2 types of data. We have the structured data and the unstructured data. We focus mainly on unstructured data because this is usually what our data looks like. So if you have reviews, documents, HTML files, and so on, these are all unstructured data because there's no clear structure to these documents. So first we have our unstructured data, and then we do what is called content cleaning. So the way it works is that we filter things out. So let's say we have headers, we have body text, we have the footer, and so forth. This is basically what content cleaning is. Next, we have selecting features to identify. So let us say we extracted some keywords and we want to highlight that these keywords have a sentiment behind them. So let's say sometimes you extract the word angry, upset, pissed off, and so on. And let's say you want to do sentiment analysis on that, okay? Or you want to extract that kind of feature. So we just highlight them and then you mark it down in the natural language understanding. Next, we do our analysis with IBM Watson Nlu, and then lastly we have creating smart applications and services. So this is as straightforward as it could be. So, and we will demonstrate that in the hands-on today. So let us talk about some basic features within Watson Nlu. So first off, we have what is called keywords. So this is the most important words in the content presented. We have what is called concepts, categories, entities, and sentiment. Concepts are basically used to identify general concepts, general ideas within the text or the data provided. categories, you want to provide a hierarchy for the content you have. So let's say, let's say that you have this page for biology, this page is for physics, this is for, it discusses politics and so forth. So these are so these are categories. Now, for entities, we want to detect important people, places in our documents. So basically, when you talk about an entity, it means you're talking about either a person, an object, or a place. Okay. Now, for the sentiment, it determines whether the content has a positive or negative sentiment towards the party that it is addressing. So if you say that this sentence has a negative sentiment, then it is directed to the party itself. Okay, so let's say someone wrote a negative review about Amazon, so you can say that this is a negative sentiment towards Amazon. Okay, this is basically how it goes. Now, we also have what is called emotion, relations, semantic roles, metadata, and custom models. Now, for the emotion, we detect things like anger, disgust, fear, and so on that are conveyed within the content. Relations, and this is very important, we want to identify relationships between the entities within a content. So let's say someone wrote this bag that has been created by um, yeah, let's call Amazon let's say it's Amazon Basics. So we define relationships as such. So we can have a relationship as created by, and we have a product created by a manufacturer. Okay, so these are relations simply. Semantic roles are there to identify the subjects of action and the objects that they act upon. So let's say that there's Yusuf and he is working on his laptop on a project, for example. So you want to identify what is Yusuf working on and what is the object that I'm acting upon. So what is this, like, you know? Lastly, we have like the metadata, which is, it's information related to the author, publication, and the title of the text, and so on. This could be in HTML content as well. Lastly, we have the custom models, which are for the Watson Knowledge Studio to customize text extraction from entities and relations. Now, we will talk about some use cases here. So the first use case here we have is data mining. So let's say we want to search through large content repositories and get answers that are relevant and quick. So in this case, we would utilize natural language understanding to parse our data and apply feature extraction and so on. And in this case, let's say we want to build a chatbot that answers questions related to some documents. In this case, this is really helpful because instead of searching through the documents yourself, you can just ask a question to a chatbot or even build a query for your documents, and you can get your answers rather quickly. The second thing we have here is voice of customer analysis. So let's say we want to spot trends in customer feedback to identify some business opportunities, address concerns, reduce some churn, and drive revenue. In this case, we can analyze the reviews or the feedback from the customers and regarding certain products or businesses, and then to exploit, or well, not actually to exploit, more like to take advantage of the market itself in general. So let's say there's a negative feedback towards a certain product. The business can utilize that to enhance their their products in general. Let's say there's a defect and so forth. There's the content recommendation, which is for recommendation engines basically. So let's say you have a certain preference towards certain types of books, and in this case, you can have a recommendation engine to recommend you different types of books based on your activity. Okay. Also, for advertising optimization, you can ensure that there's a proper placement of advertisements based on the viewing patterns, and what kind of text do you write in the search engine. If you notice, this is something that's close in Facebook and Google. So sometimes people Google some stuff, and then advertisements appear on Facebook or different social media products platforms. Sorry. Um, so this is basically how NLU and Watson Discovery could be utilized to do so. Lastly, we have some audience segmentation to identify key groups and do market research to personalize different campaigns for different segments. Okay. Now, we're almost close to the end of the presentation, and we'll get to the hands-on lab today. But I will talk to you a bit about the IBM Cloud Functions. Can someone tell me if you have covered this before? No? All right. Okay. Thank you, Benamar. Yeah, sure. So no problem. So let us talk about Cloud Functions. When we talk about Cloud Functions, you can think of it as a function as a service programming platform. Basically, it's designed to accelerate development and code reuse and simplifying migration. So let's say you have a code snippet that you do not want to execute frequently. In this case, we can have a Cloud Function, or we can have this code snippet as a function on the cloud. And whenever we need to use it, we can just execute it from there, and that's it. We do not get charged for having it up and running on our servers. Okay. So cloud functions basically leverage the benefits of cognitive services, and some of the supported languages are Node.js, Python, Ruby, PHP, and Swift for Apple. So uh, let us talk about a use case here. So the thing about cloud functions is that if you do not want to have a code that is always up and running on your server, waiting for requests, once that request is triggered, you can have that function executed, and it will remain dormant on your server until you get another request similar to the one before. So this is very efficient for cloud functions because instead of getting charged for having a function having some certain code all the time, you can just have it here closely, and you can have it execute automatically without relying on having an up running server all the time. So let us talk a bit more about webhooks. Now, a webhook is something that is very essential in terms of chatbots. So a webhook allows you to call out an external program. In our case, it's a function. And it gets triggered when the assistant processes a node that has a webhook enabled. So if we talk a bit more about the Watson Assistant, a node is basically part of a dialog. I will demonstrate that to you shortly. But the key thing here is that the webhook is executed upon processing a certain request. Okay, so here even that webhook is not always up and running the whole time. It functions the same way as uh, the cloud function. So having that said, we will get now to our hands-on lab. So we will create a customer help desk in by utilizing the Watson discovery. So let us go here. First of all, I'll give you a 5 minutes break, and then we will continue and to proceed with our hands-on lab. So 5 minutes break, and then we'll come back. Also, if you have any questions, please drop them in the chat, and I will get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you. So now that we are back, can you please confirm if everyone's here? Hello, Ahmad. Hello, Hadil. Thank you. All right. So we will today build a so we build an application to query and manipulate data from Watson Discovery. Okay. So I'll be using my own account. This is completely blank. It's as if I am walking with you guys in this session. So first off, we will start with creating a a Knowledge Studio service. So here we'll click on the catalog. And then here we have the search bar. We can just type Knowledge Studio. Okay, so you'll get here 2 different services. It's fine, just pick the first one, pick Knowledge Studio. This is what we'll need today. And for the location, just keep it as London or whatever region you're assigned to. Excuse me, whatever region you're assigned to. But just bear in mind which location did you choose, because we will need to keep the locations together. So if you create Knowledge Studio in London, you have to create the Watson Discovery in London too. Not as in like one service in London and then another service in Frankfurt, for example. Okay, so here we will keep it as the light plan, and service name, just rename it if you feel like it. And then we will click on create. Now, there is a link I would like to share with you if you want to closely follow up the hands-on today. I will paste it in a chat. So this is a GitHub repo. I would like you to clone this repo. So let me open it here for you as well in my browser. So this repository has the application that we will deploy along with the data that we'll be using. So once you clone it, please let me know so I can proceed with the Knowledge Studio. Now I will be waiting for you until you download it, and please confirm once you have it done. Once you have it done. Also, let me show you how to clone a repo. So here you have the in this page you have the code. Just click on download zip file and then save. Okay. After you extract it, it's gonna be it's gonna contain the same folders on the GitHub repo that you opened there. So can anyone please confirm if they have installed the if they have cloned successfully the repo? Okay, not yet. Okay, so which part do you want me to repeat specifically? From the catalog. Okay, so in the catalog, just type down Knowledge Studio, and okay, so here's what it's gonna look like. So here you have the catalog, just write Knowledge Studio. And it's gonna ask you about the location and the service name and so on. Just click create immediately. All right. Will tell you that you can only have one instance per light plan. So because I already have created one, I cannot create another one on this account. Okay, sorry about that. Also, there's the YouTube replay. So if you could not follow up closely, it's you can replay where you dropped off. So yeah, if you go to the home page, you have the so let's go back to where we stopped. So here's the Knowledge Studio homepage, which will tell you, whether you want to manage credentials and so forth. So in this page, you'll have, getting started, manage and plan. So let's just click on the and choose launch Watson Studio. So we will click here and it will open a different tab. Now, what we will do here is, get the data from the GitHub repo that we cloned. Now, I just want to show you what it looks like. This is the data we're using here is actually reviews off Amazon. You can also find this data set on Kaggle. So in case you want to check it out, I will paste the link for you here. So this is the original data set. Now, the one that's in the repo is actually pre-annotated. So I will show you how to annotate your own data set. Now, first thing we'll do here is create a workspace. Now, let's call this food reviews. If you want to add a description to it, you can do that. It's okay. So we can write here, this is a data set for food reviews. All right. Now we will click on create. And here we have, assets which contain documents, entity types, relations, dictionaries, and so on. As we discussed, there were some concepts here. So we have here the entities, which are the important keywords. Now, what we will do here is click on, either here we can have add entity type or upload. So we will upload an existing one already. And we will choose this JSON file. So in the original repo, we have, if you click here, you have data, docs, libraries, and so on. Just click on data and then choose this JSON file. Okay. After that, just click on upload. And once it's done, let me show you what would it look like. So here we have brand, attribute, and product. So let us click on one of them, and let's see edit here. So yeah. So here the brand can have the role of either a brand or a product, and an attribute can have the role of an attribute or a product, and the product can only be a product here. Okay. This may sound a bit confusing, but yeah. You can say, here you can say that you can say an entity functions as a brand or as a product. So let's say here we have what's it called? You can even let's say we have Ray-Ban, for example. So Ray-Ban can function as a brand, or you can be talking about their products. So Ray-Ban sunglasses. So once we upload the entity types here, let us go to the documents where we will upload our corpus. So the corpus basically is the raw text from our data. So here we will choose document sets, upload document sets, and then we'll upload. You can also see here what kind of files you can upload. So here you have CSV, TXT files, PDF, HTML, or zip files. And it also says that for best performance, limit the number of words in each document. Fewer than 2,000 is good, but closer to 1,000 is better. So let us go to the data folder, and we will choose the corpus .zip file. Okay. Now make sure that upload corpus documents and include ground truth is checked. Now we'll click on upload. Now, once it's uploaded, you can see here the different types of files that we have. So let's click on this one, docs28 CSV. We can read some of the text here. So here we have, for example, great service, great product. Our dogs love them. Great for their teeth, and it keeps them from eating grass if they have one first thing in the morning. You can also see here this thing about health benefits, but this person has been using it for only 3 weeks. And this product is helping them. So yeah, I have a Presto microwave popcorn popper, and it works well with that. I also used some on my hair to see if it would stop the breakage if I'm having due to medication, but no change yet, and so on. So you can see that this is actually a good review. I have to agree with other reviewers who find the description misleading. It does not seem to be any healthier than my dog's previous food. Dog chow also made by Purina. Okay. And while he does love this and eat it more quickly, I think I will stick with what we always buy him. The dog chow is cheaper for more. All right. So this is if you want to explore the data set or the text itself in general. So now we are ready to build our own models. So before that, let me show you the relation types. So here we have brand of and property of. So and here we have the first entity and second entity. So the first entity, so let's say brand and product. So a brand is a brand of a product. Okay. And an attribute is a property of a product. So this is how relations go. If you want to add another relationship, you can just type here, let's say here we want to add product of, for example. Here product and brand. So here we're saying a product is a product of brand. So sorry here. Yeah. So just make sure that this is highlighted. Yeah. So the way it works, so here we're implying that a product belongs to a brand. Okay. So these are how this is how relationships work in general in Knowledge Studio. Now we can do here some pre-annotations to annotate our data sets. So we can see here, we can even open the annotations tab and check the excuse me. We can check the different annotations provided. So here we can see that 150 out of 150 in total documents are annotated. 28 out of the original 28 are annotated, and so forth. We can also create ground truth by annotating our documents, and so forth. Now, let us go to the performance. Here we will deploy our machine learning model to train and evaluate the reviews. So here we will click on train and evaluate. We will choose the docs28 and the 112 to 122 version 2. Now, just make sure here to run on existing training tests and blind sets. In case you don't have that already, there's another option here to create a new sets by splitting the selected document sets. So here you can split your data set to 70% training and 23 testing. and there's the 7% blind set. You can also tune these ratios as far as you want. Okay, so Firas is asking, how can I clone a repo? So let me go back to this GitHub. Okay, sorry. So here you can see there's this green button with code inside. Now, if you do not have Git, so you can write either git clone and copy this URL, or if you don't have Git on your desktop, you can just click on download zip file. Now, when you click on download zip, it will ask you where do you want to save it, and you can install it on your PC. Now, after you're done, extract the zip file and you can work accordingly on the project. Okay. Now we will click here on train and evaluate, and it's going to take care of the training process. Now usually this takes around 10 to 20 minutes. So I would like to show you what the final output would look like. Now I will still stick with you regarding the deployment of the application, but I just want to show you what after that, what it looks like at the end. So after training the model, we can see here performance, we can see here dimensions and relation. And we have here some mentions breakdown. So here you can see that, if you hover over attribute, 18% of labels are 18% are attributes. And we have here, sorry about that. Here we have the brand confused with two types. And here we have the product. The products, 60%, 63% are labeled as products, and it has two types confused together. Okay. You can also see here entities get confused with other entities when there are mixed examples. Ensure examples are consistent. Label more examples of low-performing types and add more documents with new examples. You can also see the relationship breakdown here. So you can see at Knowledge Studio, this extracted that 45% of the relationships are brand of, and 55% are property of. Now, there's also the conference level. So here we can see also the precision and recall and the F1 score of the entities, based on different classifications. And you can also browse the entity types, relation types, and the conference mentions. Okay. But let us take a look specifically at the co-referenced mentions. So here we have the precision for the attributes is 1, and the recall is 0.08. For the brand, we have 0. And for the products, we have for the F1, 0.33, precision 0.45, and recall 0.27. All right. Let us check. Okay, so it's not done yet. So only 2 minutes have elapsed. Now, so let's go back to the page in the performance. Now, okay, sorry about that. Now, you can see here, we can also specify the, the different sets that we have, and if you want to explore any of them. So here you can see the ground truth for the training set and the ground truth for the test set. So let us see here the ground truth here, which is specifically the data set along with the relations. So here you can see that, there's the, I don't know about the health benefits yet. I've only been using it for 3 weeks. It here refers to a product. I like that a little goes a long way. Now, a little here refers to the product. No, we're not talking about the product specifically, but no, a bit of it is a product. So yeah, here nothing is mentioned about the product that they're working on. Also, this it here refers to the Presto microwave popcorn popper. So it is irrelevant to the product in context of this paragraph. So here we also have, I also used some of my hair to see if it would stop the breakage. Now it here refers to that product. It has, however, made an improvement on my finger cuticles, also refers to that product, and so forth. Now let us take a closer look. It's still not done yet. So in this case, I just would like to show you what the final product would look like. Now, because it's going to be it's going to be a bit time consuming, so I would like to show you, like, in overall, what would the final output look like. Okay. Now, let us go to the homepage. So here we have the Watson Discovery. Now, let me delete all of my previous plans because, or the previous instances of Watson Discovery, because there could be a bit of conflict. Now we'll go to the home page and then click on Services. So here, let's just click on Discovery and delete. And then for the second one, we'll also delete. All right. Now we will create a resource, just like we went through with Knowledge Studio. We will click on Create Resource for the Watson Discovery. So here we will write Watson Discovery in the search bar and click here. You can also set it up the same way we set up the Knowledge Studio. Just make sure that this location is the same as the one the Knowledge Studio is in, to avoid any conflicts. And we'll click on Create. Now, another thing here to do with this model is that we need to deploy it so that we can use it somewhere. Okay. Now, this model was previously deployed, but no problem. Let me just delete it. So when you open the page, this is the first thing that you will come across. Okay, so for our original data set, the evaluation process is almost done. Supposedly, it has taken around 2 minutes. So maybe in 5 more minutes, it will be done. But I will repeat the same steps again, so no worries. Now, after the training of your model, when you go to the versions page, you will get the version history and deployment. So click here to create a version. And it would ask you if you want to promote, delete, or deploy that model. So what we will do here is click on deploy, and then we will choose Watson Discovery. Now, where is the region along with the resource group and the service number. So make sure that the resource group and the service number are put there correctly. Otherwise, you may face some issues. Okay. Okay. So sorry about that, everyone. Now we have the model all trained and all set. So now this is I'll be following along with you guys in this one. So here we will click on versions and then go to create a version again and click OK. Now before that, just make sure that you have a Watson discovery service up and running. Otherwise, if you click on deploy and then choose discovery, you will see that you will not get any service name here. So here we'll go to Watson discovery. Excuse me. And then we will click on create. Also, just make sure that you have one service of Watson discovery, because there could be a conflict in the collections. So when we talk about a collection, it means that it's a collection of documents. Now you can only have one collection per light plan. So Watson discovery usually takes some time for provisioning. Now let us go back here and click on the default. I think we can just deploy the model before before while still provisioning. So we can choose this Watson discovery service, and we can just click on deploy. So you can see here that the deployment started and it's deploying to Watson discovery, and you will get here a model ID. So just keep track of that because we will need it in our application. So I'll just put it up here, model ID, and let us go back here. Now, the Watson discovery may take a while for provisioning, so it's not a problem. Okay, so now it is active. So let's click on the service. And then here we will click on launch Watson discovery. Now, you can see here that there's this page. Now, what we will do here is click on the upload your own data. And it's going to tell you it's suitable for trial and experimentation. It's okay. Just click on continue. Now, let us name this one as the let's call it food reviews. And click on create. So it's going to tell you welcome to your collection dashboard and so on. Now this is it for the Watson discovery. After that, the application that we will deploy will fill out the Watson discovery service automatically. Now, to deploy our application, so let us go to our desktop. So here we have the application. Now we have here env.sample. Now let's just click here, open with, I usually open it with Visual Studio, but you can use any different application. Sorry, hold on. Okay, so let me open the VS Code, and then I'll open the env.sample. Now, you will have to edit that file to turn it into a .env rather than env.sample, because that's the way it works when you're deploying images in general. When you're deploying your application, it has to be .env file. So basically, it configures your environment settings. So here, let me allow that. Now, let me open this folder. And we can see here the env.sample. Where is it? Yeah, so here we have the env.sample. Now, we will need some attributes here. So here, for example, we have the Watson Knowledge Studio model ID. Now, this is the ID that we copied from Knowledge Studio. So we'll take this one and copy it there. You can also see that it tells you that copy this file to a .env and replace the credentials with your own before starting the application. So for this application, use your own credentials, because the ones I'm providing right now are temporary and will only work on my own account, not on anyone else's. Okay. So here we'll have the discovery URL. So if you go back to Watson Discovery, you can see here this URL from the homepage, from the resource list. So copy this one and paste it there. So this is the discovery URL. And for the API key, it is the one above. Oh, okay. Sorry about that. Okay, so let me show you the. Okay, so thank you for pointing that out. Okay, please confirm if you can see my screen. So yeah, so if you open the application, so open the folder, this folder inside your own code editor. But basically, what we want to focus on is the env.sample file. Now, here you will find a bunch of keys and IDs that you would need to add. So here we have the Knowledge Studio model ID, which we copied previously from. Sorry, hold on. Yeah, which we previously copied from the Knowledge Studio. So here, if you see the deployed model, we have the model ID here. Now you can use this one and paste it there. Okay. Now, for the discovery URL and the API key, you can just take them from the service itself. So if you go back to here, okay, can someone please confirm if they can see the entire, if they can see the desktop itself, not just the browser? All right, great, awesome. So again, you would have to fill out these fields, and for the discovery enrollment ID, let us go back to Watson Discovery. And here we can see the API. We have collection ID, environment ID, and so forth. Now, we will copy and paste these IDs. So here there's the configuration ID, or sorry, the collection ID. And we will paste it here. And for the environment ID, we will do the same thing. And basically our file is all set up. Now we'll just do a save as, and we'll call it .env and put it in our application. Now, usually it will tell you that the .env is not supported, or this is only reserved for system settings and so forth. Just do it. It's okay. This folder has to be .env for deployment so that it could work. Now, after that, we will launch the application. So after filling out the credentials, we will deploy our application. Now, there are two options here, which either you can deploy using Cloud Foundry or locally. So the option I'm going to do is deploy it locally, which means, I'll make sure that you have, I need to have npm or Node.js on my machine. Or actually, okay, so just for everyone to follow, I'll be deploying it via Cloud Foundry. Okay. So here, let us go to Cloud Foundry. If you have the CLI, you can use this one setup. Otherwise, you can use the one from here. So I'll paste the Cloud Shell for you here in the chat. Or sorry, hold on. No, this one's not gonna work. Okay. Okay, so let me focus on deploying it locally here. So here we have CD desktop, CD. And here we will take the food reviews. And we will do npm install. Okay. So here we're assuming that you do have Node.js on your machine, rather than, or if you have the IBM Cloud CLI, you can deploy it via Cloud Foundry. It's actually much simpler than just using the local machine here. So here we'll just wait for the packages to install, and then we will do npm start, which will load our application and so forth. So once this is done, we are supposed to get a dashboard that contains information related to the products and the food reviews, basically. And we can assess that based on and we can also load the data presented to Watson Discovery. Now, usually this will be done automatically, so you wouldn't worry about that. Now, if it does not, hopefully it does start, but in case something happens, so here, let me just do npm start. Okay, we got something here. Okay, so just let me figure out where did this issue come from. Okay, so let me try again because maybe there's a problem with the build in general. Okay, so apparently there's a problem with my npm. So let me try. So let me deploy it via Cloud Foundry. Now, this application is supposed to like show you how to add enrichments and entities and intents and so forth to your Watson discovery. Now, apparently there's a problem with the application itself. So let me show you how to set up that manually. So first off, we have the Watson discovery here. Now, what we'll do here is click on create data. So here, let's go to the first. In our collection panel, we have this one. Now, what we will do here is, so here we'll click on configure data. And at the bottom, we will do Enrich Fields. So here we have the Enrich Fields tab. You can also see here, hide these tips. Okay. So let us say that you want to, add enrichments. So in this case, you click on, where is it? Yeah, so here we'll click on enrichments, and then you can also see different types. So for example, here we have keyword extraction, sentiment analysis, concept tagging, category classification, and so forth. Even we also have here entity extraction and relation extraction. Now, enter the model key that we got from the Knowledge Studio. So let us take this one and let's do this one. Let's leave it as such. So let's close this one, and we will do apply changes. Oh, sorry, let me. So let us do here apply, and for the relations extraction, we'll do apply here as well. After that, after we close, we just click on apply changes to collections. Okay. So after that, we can just drag and drop our documents, which are here. So so let us take one document, but if they could be a lot. So let's take let us see how far this goes. It's probably around it's 1 megabyte, so it's not a problem. But here's the thing. Now, since we're using the light plan, so sorry about this. Since we're using the light plan, we're only allowed to upload 1,000 documents. So maybe it's gonna upload here and it's gonna take time to do some parsing and so forth. Excuse me. So here, if we refresh, it probably rejected the documents uploaded because of their size. So in this case, we would just have to re-upload them, or in case, hopefully it would get right. But yeah, just make sure that you're only uploading up to 1,000 documents, because otherwise, it could get rejected by the service. So here, let us make sure. So here we have that. So let me go back again. Sorry. Okay. So let us do, for example, here, emotion analysis. Click on changes, apply changes to collection. It's going to ask us again to upload some documents. So let us upload, up to 25. It may not show accurate results, but at least we can visualize what's going on within the Watson discovery. So this step may take some time to, again, parse the documents and add enrichments from the Watson discovery along with the insights. Another thing here is that you can set up your own rules for the fields that you want to apply enrichments to. So basically, an enrichment is extracting information or adding annotations to text provided. So okay, so here we can see one now. You can see here that there are 5 enrichments to our data. So here we have products, brand attributes, and it has identified some fields from our data. And here we have sentiment. Because we chose a really small sample. Out of the 23 documents, we got 84% as positive and 60% as negative. So this is not per document per se, as much as it's within the text itself. So out of the documents that we received, we got 84% as positive and 16% as negative sentiments. There's also the concept tagging. So here it tags whether it's a dog or a pet. We also saw in some of the documents that it's related to the dog's teeth. So there's the dentistry, and they talked about one of the reviews talked about the cost of the food that they were buying, and so forth. English language films could be a wrong tagging. It could, it's okay. It made mistakes because this is a really low sample. This is a really small sample, so it may not get all of the things accurate here. If we add more documents, of course, it would create better results. So here we have the original text. Now we have the enriched text. So here we can see the relations. So here we can see she used to swallow the original greenies whole, so I quit buying them for her. You can see the type property of the text as a whole, and the relations, arguments, entities as a whole, and yeah. So we can also see here, you can also see here the score between the relations. So it's 60%. Now you can, one reason for this output is because it was mentioning that I quit buying them for her. She used to swallow the original greenies whole, so I quit to buy them. Okay. Let us take another look at a different text. So here we have the entities, for example. Let us show more values. So here we have the example it here is a product, and the sentiment score is 7%, which is positive. You can see here more than 0 is positive, 0 is neutral, and less than 0 is negative. We can show more values. September 2011, it's it counts as a brand. Maybe it's wrong because of the low number of documents. You can see here from the text that there was the word product, so it's classified as a product, and so forth. You can even see here that there was the word treat. So let me go back to it again. Yeah, so here we can see the word treat. It's classified as a product as well. We can also see here some categories. So the labels here are, top people related to dogs. Another thing here is that we can do queries on our documents. So here we can see, let me just here, we can just do build queries. We can choose a collection, food reviews. So let us say we want to build a sample query for, documents that have a negative sentiment. So here the aggregations we see here, the terms that are used here are these treats, doggy, asthma, meds. Okay, so here you can see the sentiment within the reviews. So here we have positive, positive, positive. Let's see if we catch something negative. Yeah, so here we have negative in review number 9, and we have another one in 15. So simply put, we can just upload our documents here and add enrichments and extract better insights from Watson Discovery. Now, the thing that helped us here is that we can add some features from Knowledge Studio. From Watson Knowledge Studio, we have deployed a model and it's running on Watson Discovery, and we can use that model ID to integrate it within our Watson Discovery to add better enrichments to our data. So that concludes the session for today. Thank you so much for staying with us today, and we hope this was very beneficial for you. If you have any questions, please send me an email here. Whether it's related to this session or not, please go ahead, and I'll see you soon.
Thank you, Mr. Yusuf, for joining us today.
Thank you.
So hopefully we can end the session, I guess. So I could not see any queries. Dear participants, do you have any queries, or should I end the session? Thank you, Mr. Yusuf. I hope you can leave the meet. I cannot see any queries in the chat section. So thank you all. Thank you for joining us. Have a great day ahead.